Hello my dear common core students, so I'm not going to pay attention only to the second year baccalaureate, but I will also continue with your lessons as well. Before I continue, I have a list of students who sent me the sentences of the modal verbs, the last lesson that we did in the class. So I have Nora, Wasima, Abdelrahim, Besma and Hajar. The rest should send it as soon as possible because I am marking this. Alright, let's continue with our lesson today. It's going also to be about grammar. Okay, so the first thing is reading. So you have to read the following text and answer the questions, but unfortunately this is not an interactive lesson. So here we have a text. My 4-year-old sister asked me, what happens to ice if we heat it? You know what is ice? I said it becomes water. She asked me again, how about if we heat it so much more? I responded, it evaporates. She asked me again, is it possible to heat ice and it stays ice? I said to her, no. If we heat ice, it always becomes water. Okay? So, let's take this sentence. We will take this sentence. If we heat ice, it always becomes water. Let's go to this one. So here, if we heat ice, it always becomes water. Okay? Look at this sentence. Yes. Okay. So in this sentence we have two parts. We have this part, if we heat ice, and we have this second part, it always becomes water. Okay, so if we heat ice, this is a clause. Let's see. Come on. Okay, let's take this one. Okay, so we have two parts as I said. Okay, so we have this part and we have the second part, it always becomes water. Okay, alright, so this first part we call it, both of them we call them clauses, but this one we call it F clause. Okay, why we call it F clause? Because it starts with F. Look at this, it starts with F. Okay, F clause. Okay, remember this. What is a clause? A clause is a part of a sentence. Let's make a mark here. Let's take this one. Okay, so what is a clause? Clause, it is a part of a sentence. Okay, so this is what it means, a clause. And this part of the sentence we call it the F clause. And we have the second part, which is this one, we call it the main clause. Okay, so we call it the main clause. And the whole sentence, it's just, yeah, and the whole sentence, okay, that contains F clause and main clause, we call it the conditional sentence. Conditional. There are a lot of types of conditionals, but for us we will study only conditional type 0. Okay, so we are studying only conditional type 0 so far in this lesson. Okay, so conditional type 0, it consists of if clause and main clause. Now we will study what is the structure of the if clause and what is the structure of the main clause. Okay, so we go here, so we have if clause. So for the if clause, what does it start with? It always starts with if. Okay, we always have if. Okay, and here what do we have? We. What is we? We is a subject. So if is followed by a subject, and then heat. Heat is a verb. Okay, it's the verb. Which verb is that? It's the verb to heat. Okay, it's the verb to heat. If you see, it is left in the infinitive plus the subject. So this is, in what tense is this? This is the simple present. Okay, so this is how we put the structure of the if clause. Okay, so it has a subject and the verb. Let's change the color to, let's take this one. And the verb should be in the present, sorry, in the present, in the simple present. Okay, so the verb is in the simple present. Now we go to the main clause. Okay, let's just go to the main clause and we'll just do it here. Main clause. Ignore the wind, it's really windy in Tangier. So for the main clause, what do we start with? We start with it. What is it? It is a subject. Okay, so it is a subject. Always is an adverb of frequency, so it can be here or it doesn't. It's not necessary, so it can be there or it cannot be. It's totally fine. And then we have the verb become. We added an s here. Okay, s. So the verb is the verb to become. Sorry about that. To become. Okay, so the verb is to become. Yes, we added only s. Why did we add s? Because we have here it. Okay, so we have here it. Okay, so when we add s to the verb in it, so it is also the verb in the simple present. Okay, the verb is in the simple present. Let's just take this color again. Okay, so this is how we make the conditional type 0. Okay, how we make the conditional type 0? We have one sentence that contains two clauses, the if clause and the main clause. And the if clause, it starts with f, then the subject, and after that comes the verb in the simple present. The main clause, the subject, then the verb in the simple present. Okay, so now we will go to the use of the conditional. Why do we need the conditional? Okay, so if we heat ice, you know what does it mean, ice? Okay, if we put it on fire to heat it. Okay, so this is in a form is like condition. Okay, that's why we call it conditional, because this one, we heat ice, is a condition. So if this condition is true, we have here what happens after that. So it's what we call, sorry, result. Okay, result. Okay, so you take ice, put it on the fire. So what happens? It means the ice becomes water. Okay, so what is conditional? What is conditional? Conditional is when we have a sentence a sentence that contains two clauses. One is condition and the second is the result of the condition. Okay, so now the use of the conditional type 0. When do we use conditional type 0? Conditional type 0, we use it when we have like 100% sure. Okay, 100% sure about the results of something. There is no way that one day we heat ice and it doesn't become water. Okay, so this is what we call general facts. Okay, like for example, if the sun rises, it gets hot. Okay, so if the sun rises, it gets hot. Okay, general facts. Or we can use it for instructions. For example, instructions, when you are giving instructions to someone, you say to someone, if you go right, you find a pharmacy. Okay, so it's like giving instructions or giving directions. Okay, so this is the use of the conditional type 0. Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, so remember this one. Conditional type 0. We start with if, the verb in the simple present. Yes, something very important. The comma. We have to put a comma here. Okay, we have to put a comma. So this comma is very important in this case. Okay. But the comma is not necessary if we start with the main clause. We can change them. We can start with the main clause, then the if clause. How is that? Like this. Let's just take this. Sorry. And let's go down. Let's go down here. Alright, we just need the sentence now. No. Nope. Yep. Sorry. Okay, let's take the sentence here. Okay, so this is the sentence. Okay, so we can actually change it. What do we mean by change it to this way? We can start with this in the beginning, and then if we heat ice. Okay, if we heat ice, it always becomes water if we heat ice. Okay, so what happened here is that the main so what happened here is that the if clause comes to the end and the main clause in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, so this is the if clause, this is the main clause. Okay, it is also correct. So this one is correct and this one is correct. The only difference is that if we start with the if clause first, then we have to put a comma. If we start with the main clause first, we don't have to put any comma or anything here. Okay, we have an exercise here. Match each clause with its corresponding part. So here we have, if you freeze water. So what happens if you freeze water? So you have water, a bottle of water, you put it in the refrigerator and you leave it to freeze. What happens to it is that it becomes what? It becomes ice. Okay, so it becomes ice. If you heat ice, it becomes water, like the example we have seen. Okay, so here we have the main clause. We don't have if, so it is the main clause. So we, as I said, we can start with the main clause. Okay, so we need an if clause, and here we have only one if clause, which is this one. So people die if they don't drink water. If babies are hungry, what happens to the babies when they feel hungry? Okay, so we have two things here. It bleeds or they cry. So we have here babies, so it's they cry. If you cut your hand, okay, you are cutting tomatoes and you cut your hand, then what happens to your hand? It bleeds. Okay, you get blood. Let's go to the second one. So complete the following sentences. If you have a headache, you have to continue, so you have to finish the sentence. Pause the video and do this exercise in a piece of paper. Write your name and send it to me to my page. I will correct it for you, and if you have any other question, just send it to me. And good luck. Let's stop this now.